topic, gang. Y'all ready to get into the next one? Y'all ready to get into the next one? Now, this is the thumbnail of the video here, gang. We gotta talk about this. I'm not subbed to Hip Hop DX. Let me subscribe. Make sure y'all hit the like button on their videos too, man. Any video that I react to, I like to make sure I tell you guys to go back and hit the like button and watch their video too. They are providing content, and we're just providing our our commentary on their commentary, on their content as well. All right, so here we are at our next topic. What Drake really said to Elliott Wilson before Family Matters dropped. Now, let me give you guys a, let me do this. All right, so just a quick, for people who don't know who Elliott Wilson is. Elliott Wilson is an American journalist, TV producer, and magazine editor. He is the founder and CEO of Rap Radar. In the past, he has worked as an editor-in-chief of XXL magazine. While there, he became known for his editorial under the nickname YN. All right? So just so y'all understand who we talking about and why his contribution to the conversation means something. I'm sure that small blurb is not enough to completely go into his career, but this is that's just a small little understanding of who he is. So this is what Drake really said to Elliott Wilson before Family Matters dropped. Now, if you guys are, I have been dropping my 1 Year Later series. And just like I thought, 616 in LA didn't do the best. Euphoria has done the best so far. 616 in LA is kind of struggling. We will be dropping our Meet the Grams and Family Matters videos tonight. I think they're going to drop tonight. I have them scheduled for tonight. So we're going to be dropping those videos tonight. So I think it's kind of interesting to see what Drake was thinking before he dropped Family Matters. I'm not aware. This video dropped, I think, a day ago. Yes, it dropped a day ago. So let's go ahead and talk about it, right? Y'all ready to get into it? Let's get it, gang.
Hey.
No doubt, loved all these records. I was like, they're in a fucking battle. This is fucking amazing. Like, and what's Drake gonna do? And that's when I reached out to Drake to see if he's dropping tonight. And that's when I got the goddamn rat emoji.
Yeah,
on Friday.
CT, do you have a screenshot? This is the first time. This is exclusive. We actually, because we filmed, we had spoken about it that maybe the first couple episodes, but this is what you actually said to reach out to Drake. You know, this isn't the whole convo, but you said, what made you want to reach out to him at 4:10 p.m. and say tonight?
The rumors that Family Matters was coming, that his response was coming.
And where'd you hear tonight?
The rumors that Family Matters was coming, that his response was coming.
And where'd you hear rumors of that?
Like, it was on the internet. It clearly was, to me, like he was baiting Kendrick for those weeks that he wanted to drop a record, which we knew was, I didn't know it was called Family Matters, but you felt he was going to respond. Like, and again, the 24, 48-hour rule, feel like, well, okay, he has to respond to Euphoria. And if he doesn't respond to that, he's dropping another record baiting him with 616. So we feel like Drake's going to drop something. It was a Friday. We feel like Drake's going to drop something for the weekend. Like, he's not going to go the weekend without responding.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more like, is it going to come out tonight? Is it going to come out over the weekend? Like, when is it going to drop? And it was just a furor on the internet. Like, when is Drake responding to Kendrick? Because now Kendrick is on the offensive. So it's like, when's Drake going to drop this? Because there was a hype of it being the red button. Like, he has this button.
But I personally feel like it was already done. And it was being held because it was teased, I believe, at the end of Push-Ups. Right? So the song Family Matters was teased at the end of Push-Ups, if I'm not mistaken. So that song was done, and he was just waiting for Kendrick to respond. And I don't know if he expected Kendrick to respond with 2 tracks back-to-back with Euphoria and 616 in LA. So, but because he was probably waiting for the weekend, and that side, and Kendrick and them probably knew he's waiting for the weekend, we're gonna hit him back to back. Maybe. This is just me throwing out theories. But that's what I saw there too. Act needed to buy his own tickets. Absolutely nobody should have helped him out. No way. What happened? He's not coming to New York, just Jersey. From Buffalo, wanted to go to the Toronto show. It's so close, but need enhanced license. He waited and then got smashed. Facts. We almost had 200 likes in the stream, gang. Run it up. I appreciate you. Drake's red button. What up, Isaac? Drake's red button ultimately was the false sense of control he thought he had on social media. He thought he could tell us Kendrick is a woman beater and we would all run with it. Facts. So he assumed that his influence was stronger than Kendrick's. And that might have been, it's like you might be the big dog when the big dog ain't outside. That's a lot of time. We see that a lot, right? When like even if you think like just in sports, right? Because we do look at rap and hip hop as a sport. I've seen teams that have like a star running back or star quarterback, star wide receiver that are injured. And they out for the season or they out for a couple of games. And you have a dude who out here running crazy, right? He doing crazy work. You know what I'm saying? He's out here doing crazy work, running up numbers, touchdowns, receiving yards, rushing yards, going crazy. Then when the big dog come back, hey, you got to take a seat. You got to take a seat. And I'm back. And I'm the big dog. So I think that's really what it was. And I think that because Kendrick maybe wasn't outside like that, you didn't really get a chance to see what his influence was. So you just assumed that what you knew was the truth. And that wasn't true. It's real simple. He assumed because I haven't been able to see what the influence is, this is just my truth. And that's the problem with my truth in some cases, because my truth is only my truth. It's not the truth. Feel me?
And the push. This
Feel
Punch
me?
said in the interview also. Like,
Yeah.
But
the
that was a
idea is that
bar.
Drake has this thing that's such a secret, strong about this because there was a hype of it being the red button. Like he has this button to push. This Punch said in the interview also. Like the idea is that Drake has this thing that's such a secret, strong back-to-back kind of record that he has the finisher record in his tuck. That's what.
And it's also the Kendrick had the not the opportunity, but Kendrick had the advantage of knowing we know what you're gonna do. We can calculate it. We know that you've won beefs in the past by dropping these types of records or this type of record. So we know you're not going to really do nothing crazy. You're going to drop something a little boppy. You're going to drop a back-to-back style record per Elliott Wilson. And we're gonna smash that, bro. We're going to smash that. So I don't really know if he took that into account as well. They have been able to see, again, I'm going to equate it to sports. It's like, did y'all see that documentary on Netflix? Y'all seen that documentary on Netflix where the dude would go to the games, the dude would go to the NFL games and steal signs and watch and steal signs? It's like, bro, we've been watching your whole career. You loud, you braggadocious, you in the open, you on the internet. We can go back and filter through and watch and see everything. This dude don't be outside like that. So how can you steal plays or steal steal the formula from somebody who doesn't give you the formula, right? So that's what it is. My truth is also a way to not call the other person a liar directly. Reason said he was not going to say that he was nothing working hard enough to release music on TDE because that wasn't my truth.
What he's sitting on.
Shout out to
he
you.
He has the hot
Andy.
hand at that time to end this or stop it. So
then what were your thoughts? Drake replies, "Man, I know you out there in Venice. Stop asking me questions, LOL." And you put aha, but like what were you kind of like what's going on here?
That didn't make sense until the Hard Part 6 came out and him saying that you're in the Venice studio. Because I do think that he thought from the raps that Kendrick was in New York working on these records, right? And wasn't in LA. And then I think they put a picture of Alchemist and him in the studio, which was an old picture.
Wait, what?
And then I think they put a picture.
See, look, man, I don't be on the internet like that, man. I've never even seen this before. So he's saying, I know you out there with Kendrick, basically, if I'm not mistaken. So Elliot asked him tonight, and Drake says, "Man, I know you out there in Venice. Stop asking me questions." Ha. And then Drake writes back, "Rat." He couldn't trust nobody. Karen, what up? Drake with bro, he was paranoid. He couldn't trust nobody. That's crazy. I've never seen this before, ever. My bad. I'm closing out some of these tabs I got open, gang. My bad. Streamer life. Streamer life. Streamer life. But yeah, bro, I have never seen this before. So he thought he was with Kendrick
on these records, right? And wasn't in LA. And then I think they put a picture of Alchemist and him in the studio, which was an old picture. And then I think he thought Meet the Grams.
Wait,
from
what?
The raps that Kendrick was in New York working on these records, right? And wasn't in LA. And then I think they put a picture of Alchemist and him in the studio, which was an old picture. And then I think he thought Meet the Grams, Alchemist produced, so he's in Venice working, like in that area. Elliot lives in Venice. So then I'm roped in like I'm in the studio celebrating with these niggas. Like, I don't know what's going on. I never heard anything about anything till it came out. Just like, I had a total...
Now, the real question is, do y'all believe it? I believe it. I'm not getting that he's lying from this, personally, right? Like, I'm getting this, it don't look like he's lying to me. He like, bro, I'm just a standby citizen too. I'm just watching this happen. I don't know. But when you can't trust anybody, and when you have that looming paranoia, you don't really know where to go. You don't know who you can talk to. Bro asked him a simple question. He said, tonight? Bro said, hey, bro, I know you out there in Venice. And then he sent them a rat emoji. Like, you a rat. You telling them what I'm doing. Hold on, let me go back to it. Look at this. Look at this.
On these records, right? And wasn't in LA.
What up, Chosen?
And then I think they put a picture of Alchemist and him in the studio, which was an old picture. And then I think he thought Meet the Grams, Alchemist produced, so he's in Venice working, like in that area. Elliot lives in Venice. So then I'm roped in like I'm in the studio celebrating with these niggas. Like, I don't know what's going on. I never heard anything about anything till it came out. Just like, I had a total fan experience of this whole battle. I heard the records when y'all heard the records. I knew nothing that was coming or not pause, or I knew nothing was going to happen until I heard the songs. I'm just asking like that. Like, I want to hear the song.
Do you think 616 actually kind of got in his head a little bit where he didn't know who to trust?
Yes.
And like now you're somehow on a list of like, I can't trust this person? Or
Yo, 616 dropped and bro start looking around. And we talked about that in our video too. What up, gang? What up, Justin? We talked about that in our video because we said this song really played on his ego and paranoia. And all it did was, even if it wasn't true, like I said, even if it wasn't true, I'm not saying that it wasn't. I'm just saying, even if it wasn't true, it did its job. And the job is to make you look at everyone around you like, damn, I can't trust you. I can't trust any of y'all. So anybody reaching out to me that I maybe don't talk to regularly, anybody, and even anybody that's in my immediate circle, I gotta look at you funny. I gotta look at you weird.
And he empowered other people. That's when the classic stay on stream happens, right? He tells Kai Cenat, get on stream tonight. He tells academics to leave the Andrew Schultz show and go home and get on stream. Stay on stream. And he sends Maul the little button you asked Maul about this.
Yeah. Wait, hold on, wait, what?
Stream. Academics to leave the Andrew Schultz show and go Kai Cenat, get on stream tonight. He tells academics to leave the Andrew Schultz show and go home and get on.
Ain't it crazy how Ack was at the Andrew Schultz show? I'm finding stuff out just like y'all, bro. Ain't it funny how Ack was at the Andrew Schultz show, and then to see what happened with this whole Andrew Schultz and Kendrick? You know what? I still haven't recovered from that. What up, Kalani? I have not watched any Andrew Schultz comedy since then. I swear beforehand I thought he was, he was funny, and then now I see him and I'm like, I'll skip it. I'll pass. Let me know if y'all the same way.
Stream, stay on stream. And he sends Maul the little button you asked Maul about this. Yeah. Maul putting his little button out. So I was part of those rollouts. I told the world, if you're reading this is too late is the real title, those fucking certified lover boy banners across the cities when it came out. I've been part of like helping him roll out projects of him sending stuff that he wants out to the world. So I know the game. It's like he's now picking certain people, but now I'm on the op list all of a sudden. But again, I was on the op list because we had to fall off over the Bobby interview. And then the Bobby, what's the name interview? But then we did squash it. We got cool again. So I was surprised that all of a sudden I'm back on the op list in this aggressive way of calling me a rat. Like I have any information to give to anybody.
Yeah,
right.
So when then he sends
right, because where did he get the information from? If he didn't get it from you, did he get it from somebody in your camp? Or does he think that he's fishing for information? Because that could be it too. Right? It could have been it too. It could have been him fishing for information, like, oh, you dropping tonight, to give it to Kendrick. So he might have thought he was a rat for that, which is
way of calling me a rat.
But
like I have any information to give to anybody.
Yeah. So when then he sends the rat emoji, that's right before Family Matters, and are you like, have you put together this at all at that point? Or are you still like, what the hell is going on?
He's saying fuck off Elliot, and I'm about to end this battle tonight, and maybe thought I was, because the thing is, everybody knew I always kind of favored Drake over Kendrick. The TDE probably knows, right? Like I thought I go with the bigger guy, the bigger star. I love Kendrick, but I also thought Drake was the bigger star, the greater artist. Now we're in a dot era in my view.
The bigger star, the greater artist. I've always assumed he was a bigger star in the beginning, like numbers wise. Like, the better artist is crazy though. Like, you can look and see that numbers and talent are completely different.
So Drake was the bigger star, the greater artist. Now we're in a dot era, my view has changed. But at that time, I think Drake was feeling himself like, fuck everybody. And I'm so confident in this record I'm about to drop. You chose a side. Fuck off and watch me end this shit tonight with this.
And he thought it was over. And he thought it was over after that. And it was not. My bad. Where you actually watched Andrew Schultz, that part is crazy. Always knew who he was. Yeah, I did. I was definitely I definitely had watched Andrew Schultz in the past, but I'm just now it's just a different vibe for me. I just can't. I think Kendrick was playing on Drake's emotions and he was talking about it on everybody. Bigger star, definitely not the better artist. That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, definitely not. At one point, Drake obviously was the biggest artist in the world. But the bigger artist versus the most talented artist is definitely different. Best I Ever Had is technically a pop song. It is. Ain't no way that Drake wasn't getting beat up by his father's side on the fam in Memphis. Facts.
Record. That was the energy.
And then Family Matters does come out,
and it doesn't do what he thought.
What are your guys?
Did it come out?
What are your guys' thoughts after? Because there wasn't a lot of time to breathe, but like initial reactions,
10 minutes.
Like, are you thinking, oh shit, he really said something? Oh wow, he's up. Wow, Kendrick's got something. Kendrick's gonna have to come back strong, or is it like what was the actual honest reaction of Family Matters in that moment?
I do want to say this before I say that. I think just because I'm always trying to be that guy.
I didn't even know Head was still in the building.
That Elliot is sharing this. Because it's not something that, the world knew. Like, he probably, this is a personal DM.
Facts.
I get it, but I just don't do that or believe in that a lot of time. But when Family Matters came out, also to back up to the DM, what do you living in Venice have to do with anything?
I just think he thought that you're in it's in Ocean, the part 6, he says, you're in that Venice studio celebrating. I just think he thought that I'm now in Kendrick's camp. I have some awareness of what he's doing, where he's recording music at that time. That's the only way I could have received it.
Because of it.
Yeah. I think he thought the Alchemist thing, being on that side of town, that he's in the studio with Alchemist. Meanwhile, that was a beat he'd been at, as you know, right? So, again, I don't know where Kendrick was recording these records, but I just think there's something that triggered his mind of like, I thought he was in Brooklyn. Gang. He's not with his woman anymore. He's in Brooklyn writing records, and now he's in California writing records.
Well, and it's weird too that some people were blaming like, they conspired. They made a show to go against Drake. The show we recorded after Not Like Us had come out, and Head didn't get a call until the day Not Like Us came out, or that maybe after that. It's like, they conspired. They made a show to go against Drake. The show we recorded after Not Like Us had come out, and Head didn't get a call until the day Not Like Us came out, or that maybe after that day. So like, to think that Head is the one feeding Elliot information from Kendrick's camp like doesn't make any logical sense.
So that was the narrative, is that Head was feeding the information to Elliot. Head was feeding information to Elliot. What, like Head is the mole? Oh wait, did I hear that wrong? Ain't no way.
We recorded after Not Like Us had come out, and Head didn't get a call until the day Not Like Us came out, or that maybe after that day. So like, to think that Head is the one feeding Elliot information from Kendrick's camp like doesn't make any logical sense.
It's just silly. That's why you can't engage with it. It don't matter. But what's the question you said?
How did you feel when you heard Family Matters?
I like the first part.
I like the first part. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, like I said, man, we could already see that bro was massively paranoid. I don't think he went into the battle paranoid. I think he went into the battle confident. I think he heard Euphoria, and he was like, "Okay, I can handle this. I can handle this." And he's like, "You know what? We're not gonna drop ours to the weekend. We're gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna wait a little bit. We're gonna drop ours to the weekend." He dropped his. We're gonna wait on the week. We're gonna drop it on Friday and let it rock over the weekend. Kendrick said, nah. Here's 616 in LA. Now he's already got a pre-recorded joint. He out here recording the video. And he like, damn, there's a lot going on in this 616 in LA. I gotta look at everybody around me now. And then we know what happened after that. You dropped that Family Matters, this smack out. Meet the Grams drop. And it was nuts, man. So the strategy involved in this beef should be studied. There should probably be a class somewhere that they're studying the strategy of the beef, and not only just the chess moves, but the way the music aligns with the moves and what's being said in the music too. So I definitely think we need to take a look at that at a much deeper look at that. Second Live. What up, AK? What up, gang? Drake might have been paranoid, but I didn't feel sorry for Elliot either. He swings with the wind, and people like, yeah, that's what I just said. He said, that was kind of interesting to me. It's because we can all, I don't know, maybe we can't all agree, but I think majority of people would agree that the bigger artist before this was Drake as a bigger artist numbers wise, right? And I do that in air quotes because people will be like, oh, Kendrick was always a bigger artist. Yeah, number wise, it was a little bit different, right? So we can kind of agree on that, but talent is a completely different thing. And he said, now we're in the dot era. So yeah, I'm over here now. And it's like, that's a little weird because we always knew Drake wasn't really ever a great rapper. He always made songs sound good. He made good sounding music. That's about it, right? Gems. What happened? Absa wrote a book about the battle. Really? She wrote a book? W Absa, gang. W Absa. All right. On to the next topic. Now we got